Ladies and gentlemen, you want to welcome you to an all-new edition of War Week Radio. Guys, we have a special treat for everyone. We are joined right now by Coach James Gogue. James, how the heck are you, brother?
Oh, man, had a hard day at the gym today, Joe. I'm not young no more. I just turned 59 years old, and I'm still working the pads and, still, teaching these guys how to fight. It takes a lot of energy and commitment every day going to the gym and everything. But that's why I like it, Joe. It keeps me active. It keeps me being productive. Teaching and developing these young kids. It helps me to stay doing something productive and keeps me fresh. Yeah, because a lot of people retire, they get lazy. They don't want to do shit. They have no goals. And, they pretty much have no goals in life, But, who wants to live a fucking life like that? I want to be productive. I want to, these new fighters coming up, they do their job. I'm going to do my job. If they do their job, I'll position them, for bigger fights in the future. So that's what, keeps me involved in the sport. You know what I mean? Being productive every day, being active, setting new goals, working with new fighters. And, every fighter's different. You don't train the same fighter. You don't train all fighters the same. Okay. Everybody has different talents and personalities, and you got to adapt to each fighter you train and everything. Okay. Not every fighter is what do you call it, Joe? A cookie cutter. Yeah. You just, a robot, you know what I mean? The same clone. No. Everybody's different. I'll give you an example. This one new kid I got, I can't, he doesn't take me getting on his ass too good, and he doesn't respond. But if you're positive with him and talk to him in a, in a calm manner, he responds better. And he's more productive in his workouts. Okay, that's like I said, it takes experience to know that. Okay, all right. It's not being a trainer. The hand pads on and doing all those fancy videos for Instagram. All right, all that shit they do that don't teach you shit. Okay, not being a trainer. It's it's more than teaching the X's and O's. You got to adapt to the fighter individually and his psyche, you know what I mean, and how to work with them and how to communicate with them.
Indeed. Well, tonight, as a special treat, we're going to be breaking down, Coach James Gogue is going to be breaking down, two of elite level talents who have very good relationships with their respective fight trainers, Derek James and Freddie Roach, and their, superstar pupils, Errol Spence Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao for the IBF, WBC, and WBA 147-pound championships. This is a great one, guys. It's going to go down on August 21st. More than likely, it's going to be at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Gogue, when you first heard that this matchup form was put together, what were your initial thoughts?
I was kind of shocked. I didn't think Manny at this stage of his career would want to fight, a physical, strong, pressure fighter like Errol Spence and everything. And Manny hasn't fought in 2 years, so you know what I mean. It's to me, Joe. Honestly, I think this is his final fight, and it's a way to exit the business and make as much money as possible. Okay, because I remember the Crawford fight. I guess there wasn't enough money in the pocket, or I don't know what the finances were. It didn't go through. So this fight, was pretty much the next biggest money. This fight was the bigger money maker. So you know what I mean.
It is definitely the bigger potential money fight. Both gentlemen are very good draws. Obviously, we've seen Errol Spence draw a lot of fans to AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, in his neck of the woods. And obviously, Manny Pacquiao is a global superstar and one of the biggest draws in boxing. So this should be, as soon as ticket sales are announced, yeah, this should sell out really quickly because it very well could be the Pacman's final fight in his illustrious 26-year pro career. Gogue, wow. And your thoughts, just as we've seen Floyd Mayweather at age 44 fight a YouTuber and go 8 rounds with him. Boy, you're seeing Manny Pacquiao at 42 years of age. What would you attribute his, longevity to?
Man, Joe, nowadays, like Hopkins, he was 48, 49, his last fight or something like that.
50.
Or how old? Yeah, how old was he when he won the title? Bernard, I can't remember. He was in the 40s, I know that.
Yep, he sure was, yeah.
Yeah, Joe, back in the days when you hit 30, you were pretty much, that was your prime. By 32, that was it. You know what I mean? Your career's over. But now, I don't know. It's evolving where the fighters are able to fight in their 40s, late 30s, late 40s and everything, taking care of your body. Another thing, Joe, is Manny, I guarantee you, if he was fighting more actively, he'd be retired by now. Okay, if he was fighting, like in his 30s, 3 or 4 times a year, he would be done by the time he was 38. Okay, so him not taking a lot of fights, resting and preserving his body. Okay, Joe, has a lot to do with it. Where he can fight, in his 40s right now. So, but like I said, I don't know what Manny does, between fights. I don't, plays basketball. I don't know if he trains in the gym or stuff like that and everything. So that, to stay active in boxing, you just can't take 2 years off, Joe, and all of a sudden, oh, I want to come back at 42 and fight a guy like Errol Spence. I know he's been doing something, I know he don't go to the gym every day, but, once in a while he'll go there, just to stay sharp and everything, to keep his tools sharp, just in case, what do you call it? A big opportunity came up. But I heard he plays basketball a lot to keep himself in condition and everything, but he's just a genetic freak, Joe. A genetic freak. Not too many people could do that, okay?
No. He's a once in a generational talent, Coach. And will we ever see anyone ever again like this, starting from strawweight and winning a world title at 154 pounds?
Man, the way the fighters are, the way boxing is nowadays, nobody wants to fight nobody. They only fight once a year, twice a year. Come on, man.
Yeah, I can't imagine seeing it again in my lifetime, Coach. So this is very special. And so here's some trivia, guys. To answer your question, Coach, Bernard Hopkins became the oldest man to win a world title at age 46.
Oh, God,
right?
See?
And, and right now, Pacquiao has already has the record for being the oldest man to carry the WBA welterweight title at age 40. He won it by beating Keith Thurman in 2019. Now he looks to break his own record by winning the world title again at age 42 in the welterweight division. Can he do it? Well, we're going to find out what Coach Gogue thinks. Right now, though, I'd like to, say hello to our very dear friend, my colleague at FightSaga.com, one and only Mr. Corey Bradshaw, IOTBA. How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us live.
Hey, what's going on, my man?
I tell you what, Coach, this is going to be tremendous to go. And if you guys have never heard Coach Gogue break down and analyze a world-class fight at the elite level, you're in for a real treat. So here we go, guys, rattling off the tell the tape for, the current and soon to be reinstated WBA welterweight champion, Mr. Manny Pacquiao. Guys, he's going to come into the ring at age 42. He fights out of the southpaw stance. He stands 5 foot 5.5 inches tall in the center of the ring. He fights behind a 67-inch reach from General Santos City in the Philippines. He has a brilliant professional record after 26 years, 62 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins coming by way of knockout. And Coach, please remind us of the pros and cons of Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, jeez. Look at his career, Joe. He's a championship level experience, man. Come on, man. I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Fame. As soon as he's done boxing, he's got a road. I mean, he's got the red carpet all the way to Canastota. Okay. Manny, in his prime, oh my God, what a offensive machine he was. Beautiful footwork. Okay. That's one thing I think he started evolving as a fighter. Okay. When he first got with Freddie, he was just a straight ahead brawler. Like when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, the first fight, just straight ahead, throw punches. That's what Manny does. He's a volume combination puncher, boy. And once he gets his rhythm and momentum going, boy, he's a Filipino typhoon, boy. He don't stop. Fast, sharp, pop, 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 pop. But now his footwork. Remember, Joe, we used to talk about him over the years. I always said he had the best footwork in boxing. This is before Lomachenko came around.
That's
in
right.
and out, pivoting around you, moving to the angles and stuff like that. That's the new dimension he added to his game with Freddie. Is working more footwork, in and out, side to side, pivoting around you, fast, sharp combinations. You know what I mean? He's always going to be aggressive, but just adding that dimension to his game, his ability to move at angles, in and out, moving in circles, hitting you at angles, counter punching with those fast, sharp punches. Oh yeah, his counter right hook too, boys. Brutal, boy.
Love it.
Yeah. But he's just a typhoon, boy, in his prime now. Okay, in his prime now. Okay, now. When he fought Thurman, he surprised me, man. I'm like, geez, 40 years old, and he didn't miss a beat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He didn't miss a beat. So,
he looked brilliant.
That's to me, his strengths are his great footwork, his fast, sharp combinations, volume of combinations. Okay. Oh, his punching power too. He can hurt you at any time, like he did Keith Thurman. Okay. Championship level experience, Joe. Come on, man. He's fought them all. What Spence brings to the table is something he's never seen before. Well, then again, he's 42 now, and this guy Spence is a strong physical welterweight. You know what I mean? That is a bully in the ring and likes to, test you, likes to test your manhood. Okay. Like I always said in past shows, a bully likes to take your candy. You know what I mean? He likes to take your lunch money, and that's expensive. He's just a physical pressure fighter that likes to grind on you and break it down, and then go for the knockout. But Pacquiao, like I said, everything I just mentioned, that's his strengths. His cons, goddamn, Joe, he's 42 years old. You don't know, you don't know what if this could be the night where, he becomes a shot fighter. You know what I mean? Look at Sugar Ray Leonard when he fought Camacho.
Oh, boy.
Sugar Ray Leonard when he fought Terry North.
Oh my God. You had to bring those up, didn't you, Gogue?
Yeah, come on now, Joe. I mean, I learned from history, okay, Joe? Okay, them guys, Manny Pacquiao ain't the Manny Pacquiao in his 30s, early 30s, in his 20s. He ain't the same fighter when he fought Barrera the first time.
2003, I was there at the Alamo Dome.
I was there too. We fought on the undercard. We fought the last fight of the night. Get this, Joe. Right after Pacquiao fight, we fought right after that, 12 o'clock midnight. Oh God, that was anyway.
Brutal. And what's amazing about that, Coach, is Golden Boy had just signed. They had just put Golden Boy together. And they had just signed Marco Antonio Barrera to a long-term fight deal. And his first fight, fighting under the Golden Boy banner, was a loss to Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, well, like I said, Manny was a machine. He was a physically strong, extremely fast, pressure fighter who threw volumes of punches. Okay, and boy, does he hit hard, Pacquiao. Oh my God. That's when he was in his prime. Over the years, like I said, Joe, he evolved to a better all-around fighter, but better footwork, using his feints better, using his jab, counter punching better, using angles, all that stuff. Joe, you can't stay in neutral as a fighter. You always got to progress and progress and progress up the levels, okay, to evolve into a better, into your, what do you call it? I always say to be the best fighter you could be. Because if you don't evolve and add new dimensions to your game, as you go up the food chain, you ain't gonna beat them guys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
That's
continually evolve as a fighter. And that's what Manny did, okay? That's the reason why he was able to fight, destroy Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, and destroy Margarito, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, man, just the footwork, the angles, you know what I mean? And he just added it to his naturally aggressive demeanor, the way he fights and everything. But like I said, Joe, he's 42 years old. Me personally, Joe, it's a big question mark, you know what I mean? Going into the fight. I know he ain't Manny Pacquiao when he knocked out Margarito, okay? He's 42 years old.
Yeah, far removed from that. But guys, so let's look at his opponent, the current IBF and WBC welterweight champion, Mr. Errol Spence Jr. Errol's going to come into the ring at age 31. He also fights out of the southpaw position. He stands, 5'9.5" in the ring. He fights behind a 72-inch reach. Born in New York, but now residing out of the DFW area in DeSoto, Texas. Oh, he brings a perfect record to the ring: 27 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 21 big wins coming by way of knockout. What are the pros and cons of the truth, Errol Spence Jr., Coach?
Like I said, he's one of the best pressure fighters. He's one of the best intelligent pressure fighters in boxing. Okay.
Indeed.
And he's one of the best inside fighters in the game. Okay. That's where he wants you, Joe. He wants you to be a stationary target so he could get inside and break it down. A beautiful body puncher, a beautiful combination puncher. Okay. He's the kind of guy that hits you from all angles when he's inside. And get this, Joe, when you're a southpaw and when you're an intelligent southpaw pressure fighter, once you get in the pocket, boy, when you're fighting a right-handed fighter, you got all the advantages. Because a lot of right-handers don't get to fight a skilled southpaw like Spence in the pocket, okay? And when you got a guy like Spence who knows how to fight in the pocket, them punches are coming from different angles, man. You don't see that you're not used to, okay? So that's one thing Spence got the advantage over the right-handed fighters. But now he's fighting a southpaw like Pacquiao, who moves good. Okay, so Spence is gonna have to, what do you call it? Intelligent pressure, close the distance, cut the ring off, stuff like that. All the basic stuff. When you're fighting a guy that moves good like Pacquiao, okay, and Pacquiao can punch. He still showed me that in the Thurman fight. So you got to respect his power, okay? Spence just can't walk in there. He's going to get hit with a good shot. Pacquiao still has something left. He can hurt him and everything. But Spence, like I said, his game plan is he's a grinder. He's a bruiser, okay? He likes to, break it down round after round after round after round. Then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, just like he did to Kell Brook, boy, when he knows that you're finished, he'll go for the kill. He'll start putting the nails in the coffin, like I call it. You know what I mean? When a guy goes for the knockout, hey man, Spence, he's got that killer instinct in him, and he wants to put you away. Okay, he don't want to play it safe and like Josh Taylor did against Ramirez and everything. Okay, he's gonna go for the knockout, and he should. He's fighting a guy 42 years old, and if he's, he shouldn't have no mercy on Manny. He should take it to him. Be careful. Manny can punch now, so he's still got to, respect his power and everything. But, just keep him on a slow, gradual breakdown, and it starts with his jab, Joe. He's got a beautiful jab, Spence. And Spence can box too if he has to, okay? He could counterpunch good too. He steps back and counters real good. But his jab, though, but the thing is, like I said, Pacquiao, he's going to have to be, Pacquiao's going to be elusive, so he's going to have to somehow close that distance intelligently. And it starts with his jab, and it starts with his footwork, and cutting off his escape routes. Me personally, Joe, get him on the ropes, just like Margarito did. Okay, try to get him on the ropes and keep him in the ropes or in the corners and everything, and make him a stationary target as much as possible and everything.
Indeed. Gogue, and you're absolutely right when you say that Errol Spence Jr., not only does he customarily look to put his opponents out, having 21 knockouts on his resume out of 27 fights, but this is a career-defining opportunity for him and a legacy fight. If he wins this in a big way, sending Manny Pacquiao into retirement, this is going to escalate him to another level of attraction in the U.S. as well as around the world. So he understands what's at stake. This is an historic fight on August 21st, guys. We can't wait to see it.
Hey, Joe, this ain't no regular fight, okay? This ain't when he fought Sean Porter or Danny Garcia. This is a super fight, all right?
Yep.
It's a different level, man. It's the highest level. Hagler Hearns, Leonard Hearns, Duran Leonard, okay? This is the level this fight is. It's a super fight, okay? It's not no regular, big fight. It's a Super Bowl type of fight, okay?
Indeed. So, what's it going to be for Errol Spence? Is he going to be Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady? That's what this matchup looks like, guys, in boxing. The young upstart, the young champion versus the old man in the division with lots of a championship experience. Manny Pacquiao's been to the big dance several times.
Many times.
He's used to this. This
Let
is
me tell
by
you this,
far.
Joe.
Go ahead,
Let me tell you this, Joe. I remember Marvin Hagler when he had his first big fight with Duran. That was his first big super fight, okay?
Yep.
I remember he was saying that, when he got ready to fight, when he was getting ready to fight Hearns, he was telling the reporters, he admitted, he goes, I admit that first fight I had with Duran, that was my first big super fight. He goes, it's different. He goes, it got to me. He goes, I was nervous. You know what I mean?
Duran did well. Duran hung in there.
Duran been in super fights. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. He been in super fights, and he goes, I admit that pressure got to me, and I didn't perform the best of my ability. I was kind of hesitant because of the pressure and everything. And that's one thing Spence is going to find out. Okay. This is a super fight. Okay. And the press he's going to be getting, the media attention. It's going to be on the Super Bowl stage. It ain't going to like fighting at Dallas Cowboy Stadium where, just local press shows up. I'm talking about international press. Okay. It's going to be this is a super fight, Joe. And when you're in a super fight, man, it's the highest level in boxing, man. Guys like De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, they've been to the dance many times, okay? This is Errol Spence introduction into the Super Bowl of big fights, okay? And the biggest thing is mental. Can he handle the pressure of the big fight atmosphere, the big fight, the day of the fight, the big, the pressure of winning a big fight, when the marbles are on the line, Joe, can he deliver? You know what I mean? We'll see.
Yep, we'll see indeed, guys. August 21st. Now let's look at the keys to victory. Coach Gogue's keys to victory for Manny Pacquiao. Now, once again, this is very interesting because we customarily don't see either man in the ring with another southpaw. In fact, you have to go back to 2008 at 135 pounds against David Diaz to see Manny Pacquiao's last outing against a southpaw. How does this change the strategy, Coach Gogue? What are the keys to victory here for Manny Pacquiao?
Manny's going to be Manny. He's gonna do his thing. You know how he fight. Man, how the hell what are you gonna do? You gonna change your style? Hell no. You're gonna do what he's gonna do. You know, it starts. You know, his footwork in and out, fast, sharp combinations. Try if Spence makes a mistake, he's gonna try. You know, he's gonna counter. If he sees an opening, he's gonna counter. Okay, but Manny is an aggressive volume puncher. Okay, moving in and out, angles, putting his combinations together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's something Spence is gonna. That's something Spence is gonna have to get used to. A lot of guys he fights don't put them combinations together like Pacquiao in his prime. Okay, that's Manny. He's gonna do his stuff. He's gonna do his thing. Like I said, he's experiencing these big super fights. This is just another fight for him. He's used to the atmosphere. He's dealt with the pressure. Hey, Joe, that pressure, boy, when you fight in these super fights, boy, you know what I mean? It could crush a fighter. You know what I mean? If their mentality and their emotions are not in check, okay? You could get easily distracted by all the fucking hype and the pressure building up and everything, okay? And let's just say this is a great opportunity for Spence, to break the ice. But anyway, that's Manny to win. He's just got to be himself, box intelligently, move intelligently. Don't get caught in the corners. Don't get caught in the ropes. If he does, get on the ropes, counter effectively. You know, when Spence comes in, step to the side, counter, pivot around him. Okay, all right. Either to your Manny's left or right side. You know what I mean? Whatever's available. You know. Because Errol's going to try to back him up. I guarantee you Errol's going to try to back him up, get him on the ropes, get him in the corners. But it's Manny's job when he's on the ropes to defend himself intelligently, staying low, okay, moving at angles, trying to find the escape routes, counter intelligently. That's what I would do, Joe. You know, the guy got me, a guy like Spence who tries to muscle me and get me in the corners or on the ropes. Man, I'll try to counter him, man. Catch him coming in with some shots, especially the uppercuts. I think, that right uppercut, man, on a southpaw works effectively. You know what I mean? If you got two southpaws fighting, that right uppercut works effectively. So I try to nail him with that right uppercut or that straight left hand. You know what I mean? Then once you counter effectively, just slide off to the side and pivot around you. Hey, Pacquiao, a perfect example when he fought Margarito. He looked beautiful. Every time Margarito tried to get him on the ropes, Pacquiao sidestepped him, put them combinations together, pivoted around him, and took it back to the center of the ring. That's what he's going to have to do with Spence. Create them escape routes when he's on the ropes or in the corners. Counter effectively. Catch him coming in. Okay? He's got the – man, he knows what he's doing, man. Come on, man. Jesus. I mean, he knows what he's got to do. But the main thing is – for him to win, Joe, he's got to keep the fight in the center of the ring much as possible. Stay out of the ropes, stay out of the corners, and just be Manny. In and out. Counter with that right hook. That right hook he hurts a lot of fighters with. Put the combinations together. Pop, 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 pop. Then out, pivot around them. Okay, pop, 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 pop. Hey, man, this is Las Vegas, man. Manny Pacquiao, Vegas, Las
it's
Vegas,
home away from home.
Yep. I tell you what, I don't know. These fucking, Vegas, man. They probably new guy like Spence coming up. They probably want him to win. But anyway, a guy that is going to be putting his combinations together effectively and putting them, in volumes like Pacquiao in his prime used to do. Can he still do it? If he could do it, Joe, then we'll have a competitive fight. If he can move beautifully, effectively for 12 rounds, in and out, in circles, at angles, putting his combinations together, countering effectively, staying off the ropes, or setting traps on the ropes, by catching them coming in with, sharp counters, pivoting around them, taking the fight in the center of the ring. Yeah, it could be a competitive fight and everything. But the thing is, Joe, for him to win, you got to hurt Spence, man.
Yep.
You got to get his attention, man. Spence is a bully. And a bully wants to take your lunch money. What do you do? I always say this all the time, Joe. What happens when a bully tries to take your lunch money? You punch him right in the fucking mouth. All right. You get their attention. You get their attention. You create some fear in their minds. Okay. Just like Josh Taylor when he dropped Jose Ramirez. Ramirez wasn't so aggressive after that first knockdown. Okay. He
changed the entire complexion of the fight. Yep.
Exactly. He became tentative. Okay. Because that's what you got to do. When you fight an aggressive fighter like Spence, you got to get this attention. You got to get his attention right off the bat. You got to create some fear in him and everything. So he's not as, he's not as brave, Joe. Okay. You want him tentative. You want him second guessing himself. Because Joe, get this. What do I always say? When you hurt a guy, when you hurt your opponent, when you get their attention, the feints work the best.
Yep.
That's when the feints work the best. And if Pacquiao hurts Spence right off the bat or drops him, that's when, to make his game plan work much more easier, much more effectively. Pacquiao, them feints. Yeah, I double, triple up on them feints or feint them a lot, just to keep him hesitant, just to keep him second guessing. Okay, and get this, Joe. Once you start going for a guy's feints and you're becoming hesitant, you get off your game plan.
Yep.
Okay, you're more worried about the guy hurting you than what you're gonna do to him.
It's a distraction. That's right.
That's gonna be my number one key. He's, besides everything else I talked about, being Manny, but he's got to hurt Spence, man. If not, Spence is just going to keep coming forward, closing that distance, cutting off the ring, eliminating his escape routes when he's on the ropes or in the corners, and he's going to try to make you a stationary target as possible. And Spence, like I said, when he's in the pocket, boy, he's one of the game's best in trench warfare. So that, like I said, that's what Manny's got to do. But God dang, Joe, he's 42 years old.
Yep. It's an intangible that we won't understand fully until we see them both in the ring. Now, Coach, in the event that Errol Spence tries to use his height and his reach to his advantage and merely holds court in the center of the ring, what does Manny Pacquiao have to do to be effective in closing the distance and landing effectively from mid to short range?
Who, Manny Pacquiao?
Yep.
Manny knows his range and distance, man. He'll move in and out. He'll move out with that jab, feints, fast combinations, pivoting around him. Okay, that's gonna give Spence, when you got a puncher like Spence, okay, a guy that likes to fight in the pocket, likes you to be stationary, a guy that like Manny that's gonna be giving him movement, it's gonna give him problems, okay? Because Spence can't get his feet set. Okay, he's gonna keep on. If Manny's smart and keeps on making Spence turn, that means Spence has got to lift his feet up, turn, reset his feet. Okay, then if Manny moves again, he's got to lift his feet up, turn, reset his feet. Okay, when you got a guy like Spence and you keep on turning him and not letting him get set, guess what, Joe? He's not going to get into rhythm. He's not going to get into the flow of the fight. Then off the movement, you're hitting Spence with combinations, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? Then out and stepping around him. Yeah. Then Spence is, he's gonna have to chase. He's gonna have to, chase him down, close that distance. It might be tough, but goddamn, can Manny do that? He's 42 years old, Joe. Yeah. He's 42 years old. But if he's in the center of the ring, hey, that's advantage Manny Pacquiao, man. It gives, you know what, Joe? It's all about real estate, man. I always tell, if I have a fighter who's a good boxer, I always tell him to keep it in the center of the ring. Real estate. That's where he's got the most options at his disposal. He can, you know what I mean? When you're in the center of the ring, you got all that real estate to work with. You can move in and out, move in circles. You know what I mean? You could keep it at range and distance where it's the safest, where you're not going to get hit. Okay? That's for good boxers. Okay? Keep the fight in the center of the ring. That's why amateur boxing, you see guys that keep it in the center of the ring that are effective from range. Yeah, they're usually going to win the fights. Yeah, same principle. You know what I mean? Real estate. You got all that real estate to work with.
Indeed. So now it's a perfect segue into the keys to victory for the 31-year-old WBC and IBF welterweight champion, Mr. Errol Spence Jr. Now, it's funny. We've talked about the intangible of, well, being 42 years of age going into this fight. But there's an intangible that no writers are discussing at this time, and that's Errol Spence Jr. not adhering to the Spartan lifestyle between fights. Will it finally show up and catch up with him before the biggest fight in his career? Gogue, what are your thoughts on Errol Spence Jr.'s extracurricular activities between fights?
I didn't know. First I heard about it. I didn't know. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm not paparazzi. I don't follow him around, see what he's doing.
Well, no. It was highly publicized. The brutal car accident he had and the DWI he got. Well, obviously it was a result of his public drunkenness.
I don't know. Hey, Joe. Hey, when you got a life, a death, almost when you got an experience like that, which almost caused you death, man, I would say it would change me as a human being. Thank God that he spared my life, and you know what I mean. Yeah. And come away with minimal injuries and to respect life and change my behavior where I'm not getting put in them situations. You know what I mean, Joe?
Of course.
Some guys got to learn the hard way. Some guys got to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? And maybe that made them a better person. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see on August 21st. But, Coach, What are EJ's keys to victory against the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao?
Boy, he's going to have to somehow – like I said earlier, intelligent pressure. It starts with his jab. Okay, Joe? It starts with his jab. Getting his jab established. Closing that distance slowly. Keeping them damn hands up. Because Pacquiao, he counters very quick. Okay? And he could catch you with some shit if you're not ready. So work behind his jab. Close the distance. Manny's going to be moving. Like I said, try to get him to be a stationary target in the ropes or in the corner as much as possible. When you got him to be a stationary target, that's when Errol works his best, inside the pocket, okay? Beautiful body puncher, beautiful combination puncher, hits you from different with all the different combinations. I like to see in the southpaw a different variety of combinations, okay, coming from all angles. That's what I'm trying to say, Joe. He doesn't just throw the same bullshit all the time or just throws a bunch of wild punches, okay, like a tough man. His punches, he makes every punch count. His punches are world class, okay, meaning his combinations are precise, they're accurate, okay. They're compact, short, compact combinations in the pocket, coming from all angles. Okay, he throws every punch in the book. Okay, when he got you to be stationary and everything, he goes. He's a beautiful up and down fighter. He'll go to the body, then he'll go to the head, then he'll come back down to the body, or vice versa. He'll go down to the body, and he'll come back to the head. To me, Joe, that's an intelligent fighter. An intelligent fighter in the pocket, a fighter that could go change up and mix up his combinations, okay, not throw the same shit all the time. Like Canelo, different variety of combinations, mix it up to keep your opponent second guessing what you're going to do and attack up and down or down or up to the head, down to the body, or down to the body and up to the head. Up and down and up, I call it. Hitting you, like I said, he throws every punch in the book, and all angles, uppercuts. Yeah, that's all he got to do. When Spencer gets inside, Pacquiao's going to try to smother him and tie him up now. Okay, Joe? Mm-hmm. Pacquiao ain't going to get into a street fight, a firefight with Spence inside. So Spence, once he gets him to be a stationary target, whether it's on the ropes, in the corners, or wherever, he can't let Pacquiao tie him up. Because me personally, Joe, The ref I would love to have in the fight if I was Pacquiao is Mr. Kenny Bayless. He won't let you work in the pocket.
Nope, he sure won't.
As soon as the fight gets in the pocket, Pacquiao smother him, tie him up, break.
Oh gosh, I hate that, Coach.
He won't. He's not like Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd's a good ref, a veteran.
Oh, you know, Coach, I'll say this: it's a damn shame that Frank Cappuccino isn't still with us.
Well, the thing is, let me tell you about Robert Byrd, Joe. Robert Byrd, he'll say, "Fight your way out of there." When you get tight, when both fighters get are clinching in the pocket or tie each other up in the pocket, he don't break it. Byrd, he'll say, "Fight your way out of there. Fight your way out of there. Mm-hmm. Quit holding. Fight your way out of there." He'll make you fight your way out of there, and that's advantage Spence, because Spence wants that type of fight. Okay, he wants to fight his way out of the pocket. Now Pacquiao don't want that. You know, it's a lot of it has to do with the ref, Joe. You seen Mr. Bayless when he Ramirez fought in the Taylor fight. Oh, he didn't let him fight in the pocket. As soon as Taylor clinched, he broke him up. Mm-hmm. And when you got a pressure fighter like Ramirez, man, you can never get in the rhythm, man. Once you get the distance you want, and the idiot ref's not giving you a chance to work, you can't get that. You can't get, like I said, you can't get your rhythm, or you can't get that momentum built up. So that's me personally. He can't let Pacquiao tie him up. If he does, and Kenny Bayless is a ref, oh man, that just makes it even better for Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Hey, Joe, the ref has a lot to do with it to me, and especially a fight like this. So, but Spence, like I said, don't let him tie him up, and just, he's going to have to walk him down. He's going to have to close that distance. He's going to have to, eliminate his escape routes when he's in the corner on the ropes. The main thing is, like I said, walking him down, getting that distance, making him a stationary target as much as possible, man. Because if he's moving around, moving around in that ring freely, in and out, moving in circles, every time, and getting inside and tying him up, and Kenny Bayless is the ref and breaks it, Spence will never get into rhythm. Pacquiao will, he'll outpoint him. He'll outpoint him the whole night with fast combinations and movement. You understand what I'm saying, Joe?
Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But but like I said, if Robert Byrd is the ref, Pacquiao's gonna have to work for his money, man. He ain't gonna have Sugar Daddy Bayless to give him an easy night. I'm telling you, Joe. Bayless. I'm telling you, Joe. The referee makes a big difference. A guy like Spence, man, I'd bitch about the ref if it's Kenny Bayless. Pacquiao, I'd pull. My God, well, it's gonna be Kenny Bayless or I'm not fighting. You know what I mean?
Well, Coach, it almost seems that when a third man in the ring has a pre-fight saying, well, look out, he's going to be, he secretly wants to be the star of the show. Oh, and he ends up customarily historically being way too officious in the ring. With, Joe Cortez, the perfect example. I'm fair, but I'm firm. So now we've got what I say you must obey. And it's almost like they want to be the star of the show. So I'm with you. Anybody but Bayless. If I'm Errol Spence Jr.
Oh man, shit. I guarantee you Bayless is in the man, let me tell you, man. He refs a fight like an amateur fight. You ever see amateur fights? As soon as they get in the clinch, they automatically break them.
Yep.
That's amateurs. A real pro ref, as soon as they get in the clinch, a real pro ref in the olden days, like a guy like Mills Lane, will tell you to fight your way out of there. Yeah. That's a real old school ref. Nowadays, you got referees like Bayless who, okay, let's break it. They break the fight too fast when it gets in the trenches, and it's real. What do you call it? It's a negative factor to a guy like Spence who can't get into rhythm if he's gonna break it up real quick. once he gets like I said, Joe, once Spence gets in the pocket and he breaks it up too fast because Manny, clinches him, he'll never get in the rhythm. He'll never get into the flow of what he wants to do, which is to work inside effectively. That's what I'm trying to say, Joe. Okay.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, let's hope it's a ref like Steve Smoger, who would often just pull up a lawn chair in one corner and watch both guys fight.
Yeah.
Oh, double S, boy. He was a credit to the game. One of my favorite referees because, well, one, he let the both gentlemen fight, and two, he wasn't too quick on calling a halt to the bout. He would let the fight go to its, natural conclusion. It seems that refs nowadays, and I think that's a product of the state athletic commissions, coaching these guys for liability purposes. And it's always paramount to keep the safety of the fighters in mind. But it almost seems like we're not seeing most of these fights play out to its natural conclusion with everything on the line, Gogue. As much as going to be is at stake on August 21st, do you see a referee allowing this to go to its, natural conclusion?
What do you mean, Joe? I don't.
Okay. Well, like I said, a lot of refs today, they will call a halt to the bout almost too soon.
Oh, yeah. Safety first.
Yep. Do you see a ref actually allowing, giving both fighters, a little more, being a little more liberal in this case, seeing how big the stakes are in this fight?
Who knows? It's all about who the ref is, like I always say.
Well, I'd like to think so because, this is a unification bout and, it's a very historic bout. And chances are, Errol Spence Jr., this will be his career-defining fight and the single, the singular event that everyone remembers him for, right?
Yeah.
That's what's on the line here, guys. So, Gogue, we look to the Vegas odds, and lo and behold, the book that we usually like to reference is the BetMGM out of Vegas. And the betting line for BetMGM started out with Errol Spence being a minus 450 and Manny Pacquiao being a plus 350. But my, it looks like money has been dropping on Manny Pacquiao. So the odds have tightened right now, but still several months out of the fight. Errol Spence Jr. is at a minus 350. Manny Pacquiao is a 2.5 to 1 betting underdog. Do you agree with those odds, Gogue?
4 to 1 would be more reasonable.
Yep.
Joe, you're talking about a guy who's 42 years old, ain't fought in 2 years.
Yep.
Which Manny Pacquiao is going to show up? The Terry Norris, the Sugar Ray Leonard version when he fought Terry Norris, or the Pacquiao version when he fought Keith Thurman? We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So it's about that time then, Gogue. And I know you don't like to usually make predictions because of the intangibles involved, and we really won't understand that until we see both men in the ring. But how do you think this fight is going to play out, sir?
Oh, like I said, Pacquiao's going to be him, but Pacquiao ain't going to go toe-to-toe with this guy. He's going to be Manny Pacquiao. Uses superb footwork, moving in and out, darting in and out, moving in circles, moving at angles, putting his combinations together, trying to catch him with some counters, trying to stay out the rope, stay out of the corners. If somehow he's trapped in the corners or on the ropes, he's gonna have to fight his way out of there, and create escape routes to get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I'd hit Spence with counters at angles. You know what I mean? When Spence is coming in, see, one thing Spence is, he's a straight ahead fighter. Shit, them are perfect to get. Them are perfect ways to set traps by catching your opponent, sidestepping and hitting him with angles. Pacquiao's great at that. When he's by the ropes, He'll sidestep you and counter you with 3-4 shots, like he did against Margarito. Okay, I do that to Spence. I set some traps if I was in the on the ropes and sidestep him, counter at angles. Sidestep him, counter with combinations, or when he's in the corner, step at angles and catch Spence coming in, then pivot out of there. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, that's what Manny's going to do. He's going to be, look, Joe, this is not his first rodeo in a Super Bowl fight. Okay, he knows what he's got to do, man, and that's what Manny's going to do. Spence is going to be Spence. He's going to have to track him down. He's going to have to be the predator. Okay, he's going to have to hunt his prey. Okay, his prey is going to be elusive. His prey is going to be throwing a tsunami, a volume of punches at him. He's got to be careful because it's Pacquiao 2 years ago. He can still hit. He can still hurt you. Okay, but he's got to work effectively behind his jab. He's got to work a lot of feints too, Joe. When you got a guy like Pacquiao who's a sharp counter puncher, step back and counter, you just can't be predictable coming in. You got to work a lot of feints. You got to work your jab intelligently. To me, that's the key, Joe. Working your jab, working your feints intelligently, closing that distance with your footwork. Then once you're in range, put your combinations together. Yeah. Me, I would feint a lot just to freeze Pacquiao. Then put your combinations together. Okay. Freeze him.
Yep.
Okay. Just to freeze him, to make him hesitant, okay, on countering you. Then put his combinations together. But Spence, he's going to want to keep you a stationary target. He's going to want to grind on you, wear you down with physical pressure. Okay, then once he gets inside, Spence, like I said, he's a very good body puncher. He's a very good combination puncher, up and down and up, and he hits you with punches from all angles in variety. So that's basically how the fight's going to play out and everything, Joe. You know what I mean? Who fights his fight? Who fights his fight more consistently? Okay, more intelligently, and who the referee is has a big factor.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to hear who gets the assignment in Nevada. And guys, we look forward to this fight taking place on August 21st. Coach Gogue, it's going to be presented by PBC on Fox pay-per-view. And one of the reasons why Bob Arum, gave a hard pass on staging Crawford versus Pacquiao on pay-per-view domestically in the U.S. is because he doesn't have any confidence that fans are going to purchase this event, because piracy is such a huge issue. And with the massive purse for Pacquiao versus Spence, do you see this actually doing well and making money? If you had to make a projection, how well do you think this pay-per-view does?
Shit, it's going to be a big... Honestly, Joe, I think I'll do over $1 million. I don't know. So. I'm not no pay-per-view expert, okay? I'm just going by I'm going by experience. I'm going by experience by seeing all these fights and the hype it's going to drive. And Pacquiao is a global superstar. Spence ain't no global superstar. Pacquiao is the star of this. Okay, he's the well-known name internationally and domestically in the U.S. Okay. Spence is gonna get the opportunity of a lifetime. He better kiss Manny's ass after the fight for giving him this opportunity.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a splendid event. Let's hope, guys, and we encourage all fight fans to purchase this one. Please do not. I mean, one of the things that holds up and keeps promoters from putting together the best matchups possible is because they don't have any confidence that fight fans are going to purchase these events. And they're taking a big gamble, giving both fighters this massive purse. So, guys, we encourage everyone to purchase this event. It's a fight that we've been wanting to see for a very long time. We've got legend versus pound-for-pound elite-level fighter. So, guys, go out and purchase this one, guys. But, Gogue, it looks like we've been on the air for almost an hour. Do you have any parting shots for our listening audience tonight?
No. I'm looking forward to that fight. Even though, God, I like to see fighters fight in their prime. Jesus, to me, a super fight is when two fighters are in their prime fighting each other. Okay. Two elite level fighters. The best of the best are fighting each other. Okay. But Pacquiao is a global phenomenon. He's a global superstar. Like I said, he's got a red carpet all the way to the Hall of Fame, as soon as his career is done. So it intrigues me. Plus the way he looked on his last fight, boy, he surprised the shit out of me, man, on how he fought. So yeah, like I said, Joe, when Manny Pacquiao fights, it's a big Super Bowl event, okay? And in Vegas, ooh, yeah. Spence, this is Spence. He's gonna lose his virginity in this fight. Okay, the Super Bowl fight, big fight in Vegas. All the high rollers, all the big wells are coming out, and there ain't no limited amount of tickets you could sell. You know what I mean? That could be sold for the fight. This is gonna be full capacity, baby. All right, this is it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm getting my final vaccination in a week. Who knows? Maybe the old man might actually go fly to Vegas and cover this one. It's been a while since I've covered a big fight like this. So, yeah, I would love to be there and witness this live. Guys, it's going to be an historic event. Manny Pacquiao, the sport's only 8-division world champion at 842. Boy, he's fighting for glory, legacy, as well as a massive purse. He's taken on the IBF and WBC welterweight champ, Errol Spence Jr. Coach, thank you so much for your time, brother. On Saturday, we're going to see the return of Shakur Stevenson. Do you have any thoughts on him fighting, the very big, tall, rangy, and powerful Jeremiah Nakatila on ESPN?
I'll watch it. See what happens.
Well, God bless you, Coach. Guys, on behalf of Coach James Gogue, I'm Joseph Aaron. You've been listening to War Week Radio. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.